Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Elliot from ElliotOracle.com, and I'm wishing you all a very happy autumn equinox today. So the sun is entering Libra, and I decided to do this new little video for everybody to celebrate the equinox. So in the first video, first part, I read all the fire signs and then the earth signs. So anybody that's a fire sign or an earth sign, check out video number 1. This is video number 2, and I'm going to cover air signs, and then I'm going to cover water signs. And basically, we're just going to look at the autumn ahead. We're also going to just look at what we're focusing on right now. So for the first part of this video, I'm going to talk to all the air signs. So if you're a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, this is the message that is for you. And also my deck is a little different right now. I'm using the Pagan Other Worlds Tarot, which I'm falling in love with. It's a really beautiful deck. It may look a little different, but here we go. The first card is what you need to harvest at this time, what you need to bring in. And this is for all of the air signs. And so what you need to harvest at this time is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is such a magical card. It really is saying that a magic wand is being offered to you right now in the form of inspired thought, inspiration, excitement about the future, plans, or even just energy starting to flow in a certain direction. And whenever we see the Ace of Wands, I'm always reminded of the magic wand of the fairy godmother in Cinderella. She basically turns Cinderella's pumpkin into a carriage, and Cinderella's got to get in that carriage and make the prince fall in love with her, but there's a time limit. She's got to do this all by midnight. And if she goes beyond that, suddenly her dress gets ruined and her carriage of pumpkin again. And so whenever I see the Ace of Wands, there is this sense of urgency right now, that it's not just enough to think about doing something or to enjoy the magic that's swirling around you. It's important to channel it. It's important to focus it. And it's important to really hone in on whatever it is that your goal is. The Ace of Wands also just shows those little branches and the leaves coming off of them. So this could be a time that you're sprouting into new realms, new ideas. And the Ace of Wands is just a very inspired, almost airy card for a very fiery card. So it could be a time where you're just really active mentally at this time, but definitely act on your ideas. The second card for the air signs is what they need to transform at this time. And that is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is always a transformation card in regards to partnership. And it usually comes in communicating in your partnership. So this could be a time where you're really needing to make some transformations in relationships. Speak up a little bit more, bring some attention to yourself, collaborate with others, cooperate with others. But the Two of Cups is always a card of working together and harmonizing. The Two of Cups too in this deck, it looks like a very balanced card. You see those two cups that are just right next to each other in that perfect balance. And so this could be a time where you're really balancing out your energy, and you're also just reserving some of your energy at this time in order to not deplete it too quickly. When I see the Two of Cups in regards to the Ace of Wands, the Two of Cups is always a love card and the Ace of Wands is always an inspired card. And so these are telling you to go towards whatever inspires you in your heart. Let your love take the fore right now. Really let that take the lead. And really follow your passions. It's going to be so important to not only follow your love, follow what you're connecting to, but also work with or cooperate with others in order to make that manifest. So this is a time to call attention to yourself, communicate, call in favors, or just basically discuss your heart's desire with other people. You might be surprised, but they could actually open some doorways for you at this time. So this could be an important time to just let yourself be vulnerable and bear everything that you're hoping to do. And then finally with that Two of Cups, it just indicates to, listen to other people's points of view. When I do see that next to the Ace of Wands can sometimes be a very self-directed card. It's like what you want. And that Two of Cups could indicate that it's important to check in with your partnerships or your most close relationships at this time so that you're not just steamrolling over other people on the way towards your goal. And then finally for the air signs is what you need to accept at this time. And we got the Knight of Wands, another Wands card. The Knight of Wands is the adventurer of the tarot. He's the traveler. He goes to different places, and he puts himself in new situations and new environments in order to approach old problems in a different way. The Knight of Wands is always exciting, and when I see him next to that Ace of Wands, it could just could be a time where it's really important for you to take a risk. And if we're looking at romance especially, this could be a time to just go out on a limb and really let your heart be known. Also, the Knight of Wands can indicate travel, movement, and next to that Two of Cups, it could indicate that there's some collaboration with or help coming from people who live a little further away from you. So it might be that you are forming partnerships with people via social media or through email or through correspondence somehow. But it is definitely time to act on your best opportunities, and a huge adventure is going to be awaiting you for this fall. And then finally, we're going to go into all the water signs. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And the first card for the water signs is what you need to harvest at this time, what you need to bring into your life at this time. And we have Justice. And Justice for me is always a card of truth. Lady Justice always holds the scales, and she's telling you basically that truth is going to be the fastest route towards balance. So if you're feeling out of whack, or if you're feeling like something is just not quite right, or something's a little bit more challenging or difficult, it could be that you need to be honest with yourself about it. What needs to stay and what needs to go? Lady Justice also holds that sword, so she's not afraid of cutting out of her life anything that is getting in the way of that balance. So it's so important for you to really check in with yourself and be honest with yourself and ask yourself, you know, what do I need at this time to grow? What is really kind of impeding my ability to grow as well? The thing that you need to harvest is your truth at this time. Hold on to it very tight and really focus on what you know to be true for yourself. That's going to be the quickest way towards balance. What the water signs need to transform during this autumn, we got the new moon card. So with this new deck, it's kind of interesting. They have the different phases of the moon. Here's the dark of the moon right before the new moon, and this could just indicate that we are going towards a complete new beginning. And so what might need to be transforming right now, especially next to that Justice card with the sword, where you're cutting out anything that is not allowing your balance or sense of balance to really take foothold, this new moon card can indicate that this is your time for a fresh start. Also, the dark of the moon is sacred to Hecate, the goddess of magic. And the dark of the moon is oftentimes the place where transformations really are going to be happening. The dark places are where we need to go when we need healing, when we need to introspect, when we need to go within. And so this could be a time where it's really important, again, to turn inwards at this time. Ask yourself what you're needing, and don't be afraid of the shadow right now. Don't be afraid to go into the darker places and shine a light on it. It's actually going to be very cathartic if you bring some of those shadows into the light. And like this little phase of the moon is showing, the moon is changeable. And so although you might be feeling like this during one season, that you're in the dark or that things are just getting a start and you're rolling the boulder up the hill, this is promising that you will see some expansion or some new beginnings happening very soon. And then finally, for the water signs, the last card is what you need to accept during this autumn equinox time. And then we have the moon card itself. So very sensitive time. And these are very powerful cards for listening to your instincts, listening to your intuition. I like to say that the moon in Latin is la luna, and that's where our word lunatic actually gets its root from. And what that means to me is that when we ignore our inner voice or what's true or what's screaming from within, we can drive ourselves crazy. We start to feel unlucky. We start to feel like things are off. We start to feel like something's not quite right. And the surest way to regain that balance that Justice card is talking about is to get honest with yourself at this time. It's so important to reveal your deepest, innermost feelings at this time. Let other people know where you're coming from, and let them check in with you as well. And also, I would just say that it's important to be gentle with yourself at this time. That new moon card is saying you're just getting started, and then the moon card itself is saying that you are fully manifesting, you're fully growing into your power as we're going through the next several months. So I do hope you all enjoyed this little bonus autumn equinox reading. And if you did, I invite you to go to elliotoracle.com, and if you would like, schedule a reading with me. These little general readings are wonderful, but they're nothing compared to going into all of your personal, specific issues, cares, and concerns. So I do invite you to check that out. Otherwise, I do hope you have a very happy fall, and please take care.